wants to get, not have to go that elimination matchup, that first round in the elimination bracket. All right, so meteorwave has a, let's see. Looks like they're off.
Yeah, RaceBot was counting down, and looks like our race has now started. So, Andy going for the
the tough
perceived
route, which is
fastest route.
Yeah, which is not surprising. And meteorwave going. I've done a couple of meteorwave. Was he doing? I can't remember if he was doing Gemini in the past or not.
I don't recall actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gemini is actually, of the kind of 3 popular routes in Mega Man 3, this is the slowest and arguably the most difficult because you have to use Buster on the Gemini Man fight, which is very, very difficult to do. This used to be one of the more popular routes with runners of a few years ago.
Yeah.
But since then, Top and Magnet have kind of overtaken the Gemini first route.
See if he goes for the skip here. He got the 1. Oh, he did go for it. It was a little slow on it, it looked like. It's about a 4-frame window to get that skip, I think it is.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier if you can... So a little bit about pausing in this game is things still move while you're coming out of your pause for 10 frames, and you're kind of have a warp animation from your pause. So I believe that there's a strat that was popularized by Cool Kid, actually, to pause and switch to rush coil while you're in the area where you're supposed to be to get hit by that. Ooh. Well, I was
We've seen that before.
Andy taking death there.
Yeah, that's the worst place to have it. That's we've seen that before, though. That's like that's one of the riskiest strats to go for, to pick up a second or two at the risk of 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Gemini showing why it's one of the hardest stages against Meteor.
Single block slide section here at the end of Gemini is very difficult to do.
And with Gemini first, you don't have the backup of being able to use Rush Marine in case you die. This is how you got to do it.
So Rivet in chat is saying, why are there different starts in Mega Man 3? So the routing history of this game is a long, long time ago. In Nintendo Power issue 20, they recommended the Magnet First route, which actually was not the route that was used by speedrunners early on in kind of the speedrunning life of Mega Man 3. So it was actually Gemini First because you can basically wiggle your bullets back and forth and deal damage to both Gemini Mans that are on screen, as you're going to see Meteorwave do shortly. The other 2 viable routes are Magnet and Top First, since Buster does 2 damage for both of those as well. And so throughout the years, it's been found out that there are different, basically fast options that you can do, that you're going to see Andy do in this stage, at the end of the stage, that save a fair amount of time over Magnet First route, which is the next fastest route.
The biggest thing with the other 2 routes, Top and Magnet, aren't just because they're faster, is because those are the 2 robot masters that take 2 damage from the Buster. Yeah. So they're faster fights in that regard as well.
Gemini Pseudo takes 2 damage since there are 2 copies of him on the screen for most of the fight.
Until halfway through the fight.
Yeah, it is still slightly slower, which is why you'll see Shadow Blade used on him when Andy goes through that stage.
Yeah. So, I guess when in early days of routing, because that's something I'm sort of familiar with, you go, that's kind of, I would bet that went into the first routing is like, it's either Top Man or Magna Man. Which one are you going to do? Because those are the ones that take 2 damage.
So Andy here, doing the difficult strat, unfortunately taking another death.
Yeah. A good death to avoid the cops.
Yeah, sorry about that. He slid a little bit too fast off that platform, and that's kind of why he did that. And actually, getting the first jump there, and now going to take it safely. Yeah. So with the death,
not that one.
Ooh, jeez.
Not
Andy.
that one.
Oh,
not that
okay.
one either.
All right. Andy being a showman here.
Yeah, he's
very
going
nice
for
job.
things.
Yeah.
I mean, This is again. This kind of goes into race strat a little bit, but he is predicted to win. He's got a 4-minute, no, it's more than that. He's like a 9-minute better PB than his opponent, so you can go for more things, I guess. This would be the time to go for it if you're, looking to try to best your time.
He is a death away from a game over, though, so he's got to be careful.
Yeah. You could overdo it and then cost yourself, the race.
Especially in Gemini stage, he's going to have probably a little bit of trouble in the last screen where he's most prone to die.
Yeah.
But an advantage of going top first is that in Shadow you get Rush Marine, so you do have that option if Andy decides to go for it in Gemini.
Yeah. Right, I guess the biggest benefactor of doing Gemini first is that Rush Jet that Needleman just gave Meteorwave. I guess that's what made it popular, was getting Rush Jet so early and getting Gemini Man out of the way early.
Yeah. And now an interesting thing about Rush Jet actually is, I believe after Shadow, you can actually just menu to it, even though it's not in your actual menu. Like, could be wrong about that.
There is some sort of...
there is something that you can do to get Jet without actually having it in your menu. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that might be... I don't know.
Well, Needle, you get it.
Yeah, Needle, you get it. But you can get to it with 0 ammo, and then if you ever pick up any ammo drops, then you get it for the rest of your route.
Yeah, you started a conversation I can't help you with. You're on your own on this one.
Yeah, it is Shadow. Kelly confirming in chat that it is Shadow. So after Shadow Man stage, you can menu to Rush Jet, although it's not on screen.
Yeah, because Shadow's the first one on the next on the second page, isn't it? Yeah.
Alright, Andy coming into the last section here. Gonna be going over the top, it looks like.
I don't know if he picked up a stray extra guy or not on a drop.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. He's going for single block slides, so... going for the fast strats here.
Oh, that one was... that one.
Yeah,
right before the Ruppin energy was... Oh, no!
Andy!
It wasn't even a single block. He did pick up an
okay, alright, he did get one up.
Oh, he got a bunch. He might have taken a forced game over because he has 2 guys left.
Oh.
I didn't even see that. I was looking at Meteorwave.
Clearly, I'm not, These guys are just going so fast, I can't pay attention to everything that happens. But that does mean Meteorwave taking a bit of a lead here.
Yeah.
Even if his PB might not be as fast as Andy's.
So
not going for his risky strats.
Yeah. Would you say that Andy can't get a race PB anymore at 37 with the start?
I mean, it's possible.
It is? Okay, then he's
it's possible if he's like faster. I don't know if it's possible anymore.
At that point, you just might want to let's just get a, play solid and get a win that way.
Yeah, he might just want to be playing to, keep his average race times as low as possible to get as good of a seed as he can.
Alright. Like, this is the the Gemini, because it's so different on a route that they're not gonna sync up until the Doc Robots, are they?
Yeah, no, they won't. Unfortunately. Meteor now coming into Magnet, taking a few hits here.
Yeah.
In the early mashing sections of this stage.
But what? Whoa! He's using Magnet. He doesn't have Spark or Shadow yet. Oh, he does have Spark, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just got Spark. So with the Gemini first route, this is kind of the one instance besides Airman in the dock stages that you see Spark used, because that is one of 2 weaknesses of Magnet Man. So it's Spark and
Shadow. Shadow is much more controllable because Magnet Man will go up in the air and you can't.
You can shoot it diagonally, unlike Spark. So there is a little bit more RNG in the Spark fight, since you really need to be able to hit Magnet Man.
Like, I didn't even know Spark Man froze enemies like that. I'd never known that until I saw it in this tournament.
Oh, yep. You might actually see him use it in the monkey section of Hardman as well, because if you freeze those, then they don't like bounce around at you and try to attack you. So that's another strat that I believe Baron Haynes uses that strat. Baron Haynes, very seasoned, classic Mega Man runner.
Yeah.
Ooh, Andy low on health here.
Yeah,
Having only 3 slivers of health. If he had 4, he might actually have not opted to use the E-Tank, since Needleman's needles deal 3 damage. But looks like, since he only had 3 health...
Ooh, and we got a Nadua. And we got another one!
Ooh, 2 Nadua lasers in one fight. That's not what you want to see.
Oh, and a third!
Oh, wow. Really showing off how much
he
loves these lasers. Wow! The Andy laser! This is the Andy laser right here.
Andy laser.
Oh my god!
It got him, though.
Alright.
Andy was saying in before the match that he hadn't played for a little while. This is something I could ask you about with just the progression of a tournament, because tournaments can last a while, especially if there's going to be lulls. Where do you draw the line on practice versus burning out on it? Where's this?
Yeah, it's hard.
Medium?
It's hard for sure, because you see a lot of people. Everyone has their own life, so you can get busy with a lot of different things. Meteorwave, unfortunately, having a little bit of trouble mashing here, but we've been going on here for about a month, I think, so far. Started January 24th or 26th, roundabouts. So, playing Mega Man 3 consistently for an entire month is not only difficult on your hands because it is a mash-intensive game, but it's just exhausting to keep grinding runs. So, since he's been out of it for a while,
he said a couple of weeks.
Back into the groove.
Yeah, and he's not going for easy strats either. So that's like, do you start, not doing these hard strats if you're a little bit rusty, haven't done it for a week or two?
I mean, maybe he's just forgotten the muscle memory for any strats other than this, so it might just be his only option. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Race theory, or tournament theory, it's a very strong, interesting concept. Especially if you're planning on moving on in the tournament. Yeah, you notice some people in some of these tournaments, putting time towards other games, and it's just difficult to find the time to practice. I'm unfortunately guilty of that in the Ori tournament, but there's just so many good tournaments going on. Yep, makes it a bit. Again, it's what makes it'll be interesting when we get to single elimination, because there might be a little bit of a break in between what's going to happen. Where competitors going to be on their actual race times to their PB times at that point. Because most coming into this tournament, I would say 60 to 75% of the participants in the tournament had their PB this year. Yeah, the Mega Man 3 has been extremely active since the tournament was announced. Since the tournament, pretty much. What's going to happen in this next few weeks? Yeah, I think we reached over 100 submissions, which is insane on the Mega Man 3 leaderboards. It's just so crazy to see so many people in this community. Bees! Oh, not the bees, Andy! Not the bees! You could lots of bees! You could have despawned them by sliding backwards if you missed the shot. But getting through the bees here. The problem with bees is that it's so much lag, and it'd be interesting to see how much lag it actually causes, what the slowdown actually is. Because, in a screen that long, it's going to add up to several seconds at times. And here we see Meteor actually using Gemini on these cats. You can also use Magnet as well, and you see a lot of people use it. It looks like Meteor's going to be using it for the second cat, but wanting to make sure he's got enough Magnet for the end of this stage. Gemini also does 5, or it does 2 damage, so you can use 5 to kill the cats just like you can Magnet. I've seen him use Gemini a lot when places where other racers wouldn't, so it's definitely a safe strat, because on average it's the strongest weapon other than Hardman, I guess, generally. Against regular enemies. I get unless you want to talk about Top Man, that's
a weapon all of its own. Oh no!
Oh, Meteor taking a death there.
He went really aggressively, which kind of surprised me when he started it. That's like not the death you wanted to.
Does not look like he's got 5 Gemini lasers. So gonna have to Buster here because he also ran out of magnet. So
he got a small. Oh, he did get a small drop. So.
Yeah, so I believe it's gonna be 4 shots here, or 2 shots, I guess. Yeah, it takes 10 shots to kill them with Buster. So getting that done as Andy finishes up Hardman. So actually, Andy taking a lead here with that death from meteorwave. Like we were saying when Andy took that death, this is one of the most costly deaths that you can take. It loses around 40 seconds, having to go through the rest of the stage again, which you really don't want to do.
Our first visit with Snake Man. This is a long stage. It's people. I guess speedrunning it's fun, but I think casually it's never my favorite stage.
Yeah, speedrunning it's a really fun stage, and it's deceptively difficult. So you think you're using Rush Jet throughout most of Snake Man stage, so it should be pretty consistent, right? But there are RNG points, like you'll see in this first Snake mini boss. You can shoot between 2 and 4 shots, and also just a lot of horizontal sections where you're going to have to see some pretty close slide chaining. You can kind of see Andy messing up some of his slides there, but it really is kind of a test in how you're able to slide across like this screen that Andy just went across. It's very difficult to make sure that you can get across and under all those enemies.
Yeah, and dealing with a lot, that screen was a lot of lag as well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't really deal with the lag in this stage as well as you can in some of the other stages, since you're limited to Rush Jet. If you switch out of anything, it really just slows you down. So you kind of have to just bite the lag in some of these screens, unfortunately.
It's kind of an underrated ability, and especially these NES games, is dealing with lag, especially even when you're expecting it, because it changes your timings on your shots and that kind of thing when you expect it. It's dealing with lag is a huge speedrunning thing.
Yeah, for sure. And now Andy going to be trying to reduce some lag here by jumping off the screen, also preserving Rush Jet energy this way.
And with all the strats he had been doing, I'm surprised he didn't go for single blocks there.
we have yet to see a player do that, and I have yet to see a player do that. Someone might have in a race, but I would like to see it at some point. Even Facet CC, the world record holder, does not go for single block slides there in race attempts.
He even dropped it for his record attempts.
Yeah, that too.
So, yeah, it's a small time gain and a hard strat, and you lose more than 40 seconds, I think, if you die.
It's not even a second a time save, or it's between 0 and 2 seconds. I know that. It's definitely not worth it in most attempts.
Not the smoothest of battles there for meteorwave. Can you talk? Do you know much about how to do the quick kill on Shadow Man with top?
Yeah, so to do the quick kill, actually, you have to basically hit him 3 times on a singular jump. So this quick kill requires you to deplete all of your energy to do it. So you hit Shadow Man once, and then the next time you hit him, basically the way top energy works is every frame that you're in their hitbox, in your own iframes, then you drain an energy, and so you can easily drain your energy that way. But basically, you hit him once, and then you stay in his hitbox, and you're able to hit him again, and you hit him 3 times on that one jump, which is really difficult to do and very scary, because if you mess it up, then you lose all your energy.
So Andy's about on the last screen.
Yeah, at the beginning of this stage, I believe he was probably like 30-40 seconds ahead, since Sparkman naturally just is a shorter stage than Snake Man. and they started around the same time. Andy even a little bit earlier than Meteor.
That's an interesting drop of jet there. Went through and landed on the bottom.
Yeah. Ooh, Andy having a little bit of an issue with the end of Sparkman fight, but getting through and landing in the middle of the screen. So nicely done by Andy.
Sparkman's it's not like Shadow or
It's not an
even
extremely
Middleman.
difficult.
Yeah, as far as even if you mess it up, you're not losing as much time as you are in those two battles, for instance.
Yeah, it's really more of an issue of kind of RNG in Sparkman jumping either 1, 2, 3, or 4 times before he starts attacking. And you really want the 1 or 2 jumps for that pattern.
See the benefits of jumping here. You'll see how low a energy he's at, but he's still able to get through it because he's jumping throughout the entirety. Although this is going to be kind of close.
Nah, he should be fine, but he was losing a little bit more energy than he needed to because it's very hard to jump right as you land, and even just like a couple extra frames on Rush Jet, you know, those add up every single jump that you do to lost energy, pretty much.
Right, Andy gets through a screen that claims a lot of victims.
Yeah,
I see. So that's
not
good
that
for
low
him.
just yet either.
Yeah.
This stage is pretty difficult.
This is the common one to go to first.
Yeah, I believe over half of the runners have gone to this stage first for the dock stages, according to Mr. Swede TV's research that he's done on dock choices.
All right, man, the duck robot is so annoying because he has such a huge hitbox. That makes.
He's also on Mega Man 3. Let's keep that in mind. So he shoots a flurry of bullets and freezes you for a variable amount of time.
I think that was a forced. I think he did that on purpose.
A meteor wave taking a. Okay, it was a game over. So yeah, he might have just intentionally taken a game over there because this is a very grueling stage, as we're going to see Andy coming through a spike section here. If he does it the fast way, which he is going to do, he's going to be sliding across these spikes, which is frightening.
And we saw the frightening.
That is the real fear right there.
Okay, so it's at least past the checkpoint. So
yeah, luckily it's the screen right after the checkpoint room, so it's not that bad. But again, if that happened to Meteor, he would have game overed. So
yeah,
luckily game overing early on so that he doesn't run into that issue.
He's not pulling out
going forward again.
He's got a,
okay.
Kind of clipped on the edge there.
Yeah. Andy not holding up at all.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not having played for a week, but still going for everything, pretty much, that he probably knows in Mega Man 3. And second time around, you know, getting through alive.
And Bubble Man shouldn't be something to worry about.
Andy's very high health since he since he died in the spikes. So Meteor Wave, we'll see if he goes for the new strats. It looked like he did a very high jump there, so he might have actually been going for the new lag reduction strats in that screen, going over the top of the tadpole eggs instead of on the bottom. Very difficult to do.
It looked like he went to Needle, I believe. Nope, Shadow. I saw the right. I thought he went up.
Yeah, so going for the music despawn, the safe music despawn from the right wall. If you do 2 slides from all the way on the right side wall, then you're able to get the music despawn 100% of the time. There is a pixel that you can set up on, but it's not completely consistent.
Let's see if he's been pretty aggressive. Let's see if he'll go for the clutch slide here. This is I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, no.
If you're fast at CC, that section of breakaway platforms, no matter what game I play, if it has breakaway platforms, I am scared.
Yeah, exactly.
I've played games like that, and it's easy. You can even buffer jump sometimes. Some of the games I've played with follow-away platforms, and I'm still scared at follow-away platforms.
And honestly, it is a pretty negligible time save. getting it.
Yeah.
Just because it's a slide, so it's really not too beneficial to go for when you're over an open pit.
When you did races, did you have a sense of relief when you finished Doc Gemini?
Oh, for sure. Pretty much whenever you finish any dock stage that isn't... I don't even... Actually, no. When you finish any dock stage, it is a relief, because all of these stages are exceptionally hard relative to, say, some of the Wily stages. Because there are just so many places to die. You end up at a lot of the boss corridors with low health, like in Spark. You enter the quick fight with low health, typically.
You don't have any near the fear of Wily stages as you do for the Doc Robot.
Yeah. Meteorwave not opting to go for the music despawn at all, by the way. He went down the left side, and you always see people set up from the right side. And so just going very safely. We might see him actually rush jet over this open pit section. We'll see what he opts to go for. We've seen quite a few runners actually just opt to go for rush jet just because it is completely safe and you don't have to worry about going over them. But Meteorwave proving me wrong.
Oh.
Nicely done, Meteorwave. Meanwhile, Andy here coming into Doc Needle. This stage is really scary.
This is definitely the fast at CC route to Gemini, Shadow, Needle, Spark.
Yep. And actually getting through the room with the springy guy in it is not easy, and he launched his rush coil really early in the room compared to the speed route. So really nicely done dodging the bullet from that enemy, because if you get hit by that bullet, then you're going to lose quite a few seconds in that room trying to struggle to get past the spring guy.
It's interesting to see what looks like mundane screens be actually really difficult.
Yeah. Andy also getting a really good airman fight, leaving the room with a lot more health than we see most runners do, just due to the nature of airman's random pattern.
I've had some problems with the Joes, so he's going to be really low health going into the boss. And he doesn't have an E-tank.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. I think he's got a life, though, an extra life, so we might see an intentional death here. We don't see him switching to top just yet, so it's possible he might just slide into his death.
Top isn't going to be the right decision here, because you're going to... Yeah, he's just gonna die.
There we go.
You're going to die using top anyway.
Nothing wrong with taking intentional death if you're not comfortable with fighting with such low health.
You got plenty of lives at this point.
Yeah. Pretty much once you get out of the dock stages, you're given quite a few E-tanks. You get 1 in Wily 1 if you really want it, 2 in the Wily 2 stage right before Yellow Devil, and that pretty much just sets you up to be good for the rest of the game. If you're even using E-tanks at that point.
It's kind of a tough looking fight here with Crash Man. There goes.
Yeah.
Because the weapon is hard to use.
Literally.
It is
hard knuckles.
Nice! That fits,
where's Cab when you need him?
You have a pun emote for a reason.
Meanwhile, Meteor here, now coming into this stage, so getting hit by the last spikes here. So we see a lot of runners walk across the first 3 set of spikes and then slide across that 4th one, and that's usually what is the comfortable strat for most people, since that way
you know he's going for the E-tank.
Yep. Yeah, that E-tank, very useful. When you get hit by a big met at the end of this stage, you are low on health. And being low on health is never good. Meanwhile,
Andy see if he went for the despawn. I doubt he did. The Spark one is not...
Yeah, he's going to be going into this fight, and then...
Oh, he's not to it yet.
Yeah, after this fight is the opportunity to get the music despawn. but then also the opportunity to have to start at the beginning of the stage again, which you don't want to do. Ooh, meteorwave actually taking a death. Low on health, so that might have been an intentional death. I'm not
that's what
actually
my
sure.
guess is. Yeah.
It actually did. Yeah. So looking back at the stream on Speed Gaming, it does look like he just slid into his death from having Spark. So just making sure that he's got enough health for the end of the stage.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of that a lot. That's what his third, or at least third, I think, intentional.
Yeah. Definitely wanting to be careful of getting a game over, but hopefully not going to need any more intentional deaths after this. Meanwhile, Andy...
Man. Really tough.
Yes, a very difficult fight.
Doing it without taking damage.
Yeah. We saw.
Ooh,
we
got
saw
hit by quick. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, he had 4 health. He was on the path to get hit by a boomerang, but the boomerangs only deal 2 damage.
Yeah, yeah, he looked okay. It didn't look as bad as it was.
But that was still a very scary fight. We saw a few runners. Mr. Swede taking 2 hours to get through that fight with no hits. Kyle Precise, I believe, spent 7 hours and did not get the 0-hit kill on Quick Man.
Yeah, watch some of that. Thank you, Fred, for that. for that 1-hit kill.
Yeah.
Meteorite having a little bit of missing.
You can see how hard this weapon is. Literally. And
figuratively.
Yeah.
Difficult fight.
So Andy coming into the Wily stages here. Going to be trying to go for that sub 40, it looks like. Kind of out of PB pace, but still could be getting a pretty good time here for a race. Whew, that first landing into the water.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh, going for the slides here.
Yeah. He took an extra damage, I think he was.
Having a little bit of trouble in that last
Those penguins do a lot of damage, surprisingly.
Yeah. It is pretty safe to take damage throughout this stage, though. If you're uncomfortable with your turtle fight, there are 2 big health drops that you could get. We probably won't see him get it because the Kamagoro fight is pretty safe when you use topspin.
Well, he's been doing strong. He's probably going to go to Shadow Blade.
If he's been using Shadow Blade, then it's still probably safe. He's got enough health. Take a couple hits, fine. Meanwhile, meteorwave.
Oh, he did go to top. All right.
Okay, yeah. This is what we've seen most runners use, since you basically thrust yourself upwards and you don't have to worry about aiming the Shadow Blade because you are the entire weapon. So if a turtle's near you, you can just press topspin and then...
I think that's been nothing but worst so far.
Yeah. You don't want him
he took the
turtles
damage.
to go to the left. Uh-oh.
Okay. Woo!
Oof. Jeez. Andy making our hearts pound here. It's also scary if you die and you're close to the top of the screen. There's the potential to soft lock. And so, luckily, Andy avoiding that though, making it through the stage.
What are the rules on soft locking? You can reset in password?
Yep. Unfortunately, in Mega Man 3, when you password, you only go to the beginning of the Wily stages. So let's say you soft lock in the refights. We saw this with Kyle Precise. He had to start all the way back in Wily 1.
Yeah, that's true.
He still won that race, though.
Oof. Andy.
Meteorwave. Meteorwave and Andy taking deaths at the same time, it looks like.
True of all Mega Man NES games, though. You can only password to the beginning of Wily.
Yeah, so very unfortunate if you do end up soft locking. Looks like Meteorwave the second time around. Gonna be having a much better fight. Okay, I don't want to talk too soon. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Andy a little bit early with the Shadow Blade, so he has to use it again. That loses a little bit of time, but it just something like that is something to point out. You notice.
Yeah. But Andy going to be able to go through the rest of this stage just fine, as he's going to be going for the easy double fight, which is, as in this tournament so far, maybe not so easy after all. We'll see how Andy's setup is. It's really about how many hits you can get in the first jump. If you can get enough, then you typically should be able to... you're in a good enough position to get enough on your second jump. So Andy with a nice first jump, solid second jump, and getting the easy kill.
Let's see him in stream on the chat here. I would expect it.
By the way, shoutouts
Easy.
to IBN Computing. We just missed it on meteorwave screen, but
I was gonna say shout outs to Breakman Split.
that too. Andy now coming into Wily 3. See how he does here.
Ooh, nice.
KLM room, very clean.
And he almost fell.
Yeah.
It was nice though.
Yeah, the lag on that screen could really be deceptive with the timing of your jump. Ooh, meteor wave. Taking another death here. Was that another game over? I feel like meteor wave is pretty close to another game over.
I don't know. I was looking at the at Andy's screen.
Yeah, it looks like meteor wave. He'll be menuing to magnet soon, so we'll see how many lives he's got. Meanwhile, Andy coming into the clone fight. The clone fight, pretty easy fight, even if you haven't played for a while. Just rush coil up to the top. You use top. And win.
So yeah, Andy's got a pretty solid lead now. Stage and a half.
Yeah, two stages even. Two and
now,
three.
Yeah. Because he's in 4 now, right?
Meteor Wave
With the
switches
refight.
Gemini. He does have 0 lives, by the way, so gonna have to be extra careful here. Maybe
does
wanting
this
to take a game over at some point. But
All right,
see.
that was a little sketchy, but made it through. That's good. So fine for the turtles.
Yeah.
Refights time.
Yeah,
Or a
so,
pretty set pattern on what you do with them.
yeah, it's due to the menuing that you have to do. So, Andy, going into, I think Shadow's probably the hardest one, just because you want to have high enough health for the next few refights. So you don't want to take too much damage here. Andy doing a nice job. There are 2 possibilities of soft lock in the refights. You can soft lock in Hard Man or Gemini Man, but those are going to be coming up for Andy right now. So long as he doesn't have any mistakes there, we should be seeing a pretty clear win here for Andy.
And this is where Kyle Precise came
Yeah,
over?
this is where Kyle Softlock was in Gemini, coming up right after this. Andy, it looked like he had quite a bit of magnet. I don't remember what his Wily one looked like, but he must have gotten a big drop somewhere. Meanwhile, coming into the Gemini fight, clean Gemini fight too. So now his risk is essentially gone for soft locking. There are a few spots where you can lose some time, but no real spots where you can take a big time loss like 10 minutes to having to go through all the Wily stages again.
I don't think Meteorwave will be going for the quick kill.
Yeah, we'll see if he does the setup for it. Looks like he's sliding to the right side, so he might be going for the quick kill here. Looks like he's too far to the right. No, okay. He was just kidding.
Teasing us is what he was doing. Ooh,
Yeah.
he didn't get many hits.
Yeah. So there is a pretty safe 2 cycle that you see a lot of runners opt to do. Is you shoot diagonal shots of a Shadow Blade for each phase of the Yellow Devil, and if you just kind of place yourself in the correct position, then it works out pretty well.
That's what he was doing, but it just didn't.
Yeah, it
work
looks
out.
like Meteorwave's position for the second phase there was a little bit better. Meanwhile, Andy here, you're going to go for a 1 jump kill.
Got it.
Get it. Very nice. Meteor Wave with a 3 cycle. The 3 cycle, not that bad. compared to a 2 cycle at least. It is pretty bad compared to a 1 cycle, but
He's on PB pace here.
yeah, meteorwave doing a really nice job compared to his 45. Definitely could be getting a PB here. Using Rush Jet in the KLM room just to make sure that he can get across. It's slower than Coil, but again, with the amount of control that you have, it's
going
pretty
to Snake
safe.
here.
Yep. Meanwhile, Andy not quite getting the sub 40, it looks like, unfortunately. But getting 40.05, it looks like, on his splits.
RaceBot said?
RaceBot says 40.06.
06, all right. It is a victory for Andy. It's kind of what he needed. He had to win to pretty much guarantee moving on. The only chance he has of not moving on is if Great John beats Prissy. And,
Andy with a race comment, actually, in his race. A world record number of Nadua lasers.
He commented on it. We saw it.
Yeah. I want to say it was 4 or 5 lasers that he Nadua'd there. I think it was 5. Meteor actually messing up the clone fight, unfortunately. But luckily getting the good RNG, having the clone spawn right next to him.
Now refights for meteorwave. See how
this is going to be close to his PB, it looks like.
I guess it depends how the refights go. I mean, he's got I think at least 3 E-tanks left, so he should be fine.
Yeah.
That'll move Andy to 3-0. He'll be
moving
in
on.
first place in Group D. He's not guaranteed.
Gotta play
to
Prissy though. Prissy.
Well, no, he does have Prissy left.
Yeah, Prissy, a very good runner of not only Mega Man 3, but every classic Mega Man.
He definitely had to have this one because this bracket could go top 3, 3 and 1. So this time could be problematic in the long run, but projected wise, he'll be moving on to the single elimination bracket.
Yeah.
Meteorwave's using a different route. Very quick spark.
Seems interesting.
Easier for him. He's been doing a lot of what you consider standard straps.
Yeah, so we'll see him switch to Gemini. This might actually just be a health optimization route. Since with the other route, it is kind of scary the order in which you do them in. Since you are kind of low health sometimes.
You might be doing them in complete reverse order.
It actually seems like he's kind of low on Gemini lasers since he used them in Wily 1. So Search Snake. Okay, this is the weakness. It does lose out on menu time, but it's a pretty clean fight there.
I'm surprised he just didn't use the Gemini lasers he had, because he had a few left.
Yeah. It's probably more that he's comfortable with using Search Snake in that fight, so not a bad thing to be aware of. And since he did use Gemini in Wily 1, he does have enough magnet here. Since he's using hard. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's where the soft lock happens. He needs to use an E-tank here, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Last life here. Wanting to make the last life count. He's kind of just spamming magnets, so kind of wasteful here on his magnets, but gets the kill.
Yep.
And that's what matters the most.
Yeah, he doesn't need it anymore, so.
So now coming into the top man fight. Almost done with the refight since he did it in this order.
Yep.
There's a few more refights left to go.
What causes that non-permanent soft lock?
So if you don't have a projectile on screen when you kill top man, you basically just freeze there for that small duration of time. So that's why you see runners go little bit further, if you're going for the 2-cycle and top man, a little bit further to the right, so you see the hard knuckle on screen. I don't know exactly the mechanics behind that, but for some reason, when you don't have the projectile on screen when you shoot it and you kill them, then the soft lock not the soft lock, but the freeze can happen. Meteor Wave going for Snake here. We see people with, around his like 45-ish time go for Spark Jet, which is also a pretty safe thing to do. And it actually looks like he is going for a Snake Jet here. I don't actually know if that's faster than Spark Jet. I think Spark Jet is the preferred route if you do go for Rush Jet at all, because you can spark from very far away, shoot 4 sparks, and then mash them down like we just saw Meteor Wave do.
Alright. What was his, let me look again. His PB race time was 46:39, so he should get that. He should beat that.
This is really close. Yeah, he's gonna end up probably with a 46, around a 46 flat here, if he gets the last fight properly. It looks like on his splits, his PB 46:34 on his splits.
He's doing the Rush Jet. He's going into.
Oh, he's going into the drop down. You don't see the drop down every day.
Yeah. All right.
Drop down 46:03. Nicely done.
That's a race PB for sure. I don't know if it's actual PB.
The actual PB. It looks like on his splits. 46:03 is what he just got. Was his PB by 30 seconds.
Nice.
So
way to end your tournament.
By Meteor Wave.
Good way to end your tournament.
It's not easy to get a PB in a race, especially when you know you're up against a pretty good player in Andy. So congratulations to Meteor Wave.
Yeah. Great to finish up the tournament. That's kind of what you're looking for if you're not expecting to advance or anything like that in a tournament.
Yeah, you can always hope for, a PB like that. It looks like he only has 1 split for all his Wily stages. So they're not kind of separated.
He's 45-51, he says, but it's a tournament PB, so.
Okay, so that's still really close to his actual PB.
Yeah. So. Good.
It's 12 seconds off. You can't be sad with a run like that for sure. So really nice.
It's always nice seeing like a different strat. Like this game is ripe for different routes throughout. Like completely. If you look at the other Mega Mans, it's not at all. There's a little bit in Mega Man 2. There's 4 has the first 2 be a little bit. You can do the first 2 in either order. 5 is incredibly set, and 6 is pretty set. So interesting to see various routes in 3. I think that goes like the 5 and 3 pattern, because that's the only Mega Man NES game that has a 5 and 3.
Yeah, 2 separate boss weakness loops. It's really interesting because all of the other ones you see one pretty much continuous loop.
Yep. And the only reason that you don't use a weakness is that it's slower, usually with using the time weapon.
Yeah.
Is why that's not used. So yeah.
So that is the Mega Man 3 for the night. And now it is time.
Or at least for now, yeah. There's
the 11 o'clock match that we still have to figure out if Shovel Knight or Mega Man 3 is going to be on at 11 on Speed Gaming. The other one probably on SRL.
I think it'll be Mega Man 3.
Match coming up. What was that?
I think it'll be Mega Man 3 tonight at 11, and we're gonna do Shovel Knight on SRL.
Okay, Mega Man 3 it seems like is gonna be. So we have another match here in a couple hours.
Yeah.
11 p.m. Eastern Time. Convert that to any of your times, all you wonderful viewers out there. And now, so I'm actually gonna throw it over to my friends Roos and Epicat, who had one of the most entertaining Ori races. No, I'm not gonna say that. The most entertaining Ori race of the Ori tournament so far, going for some silly strats that they both agreed on prior to the tournament. They are going to be commentating Trojan Dude versus I can never get this name right. Nidrelli, Adrelli, something like that. I'm sure
You
they
can't
know the name.
say anything when you use when you have the username you have reading left to right.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Fair enough, Darkwing. All right, thank you for commentating with me. That was a good race.
Yeah, it's always it's always good to be available and do these. It's always fun to see how people do.
Yep. So have a good night. Stay tuned on Speed Gaming for some more awesome races.
See ya in a while.